Hey guys, it's Taku. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. 2024 is winding down to an end, and I realized once again that I did not really do a video to haul the manga for like all of the fall. And so here is my fall winter 2024 pickups. There's not too much in terms of like true graphic novels, but there are a lot of art books, and judging by the comments that you guys have been leaving, we're keeping the art books in, and that makes me excited because it is currently a huge part of my book collecting passion is going through art. So let us start with, because you know how I'm always going to do it, right? There's always going to be some kind of Viz shonen series that I am working my way through, and this is no different. Call of the Night Volume 12. This is the missing Volume 12 that I did not have when I was gifted some of the later teens volumes, somewhere around like 10, 11, 13, 14, or something like that. And so this is the missing Volume 12. Haven't read any of what Call of the Night covers past the first anime adaptation, which is like the first 4 or 5 books, I think. I've read up to 7 or 8. So I'm a little behind. I was going to do it for like a huge Halloween catch up with reading all of Call of the Night. And then I thought, well, if I wait a couple more months, then all of the volumes are out because it is a 20 volume series. So I figured just wait a little bit longer. Speaking of, here is volume 14 with his classmate on the front. And without knowing too much, all I can do is admire kind of the pretty colors, the ghoulish colors they've got going on here. This is volume 15 of Call of the Night, which looks like it introduces some new character there. And then the last, oh no, I have more. Volume 16 of Call of the Night. Wow, it was a big catch up, which goes to show how far I really was behind with this series. And that is the nice thing though about like Viz Media like books, or I guess any kind of shonen or even long running shoujo, is you can usually like get them all at once, and it is technically probably cheaper to do. For a while I was actually going at Call of the Night like volume by volume. I just fell off, which is not uncommon. Plan for a Seraph of the End huge catch up like I did for Fire Force though. That's coming soon. This is Call of the Night volume 17, and I love this cover. It's so simple, but it's so dynamic at the same time. And I like seeing his classmates. I think they're all class acts in themselves. Very unique characters. So there's 20 volumes. 18 I think is currently out or just came out. So then that only leaves 19 and 20. And Call of the Night will wrap up its English release in the spring. So got a couple more hauls of Call of the Night. I'll be kind of sad to let it go because, you know, it's something that I've really been working with on this channel for a while. Speaking of another series that has come to an end, unfortunately, sadly, tragically, this is Your Turn to Die, Majority Vote Death Game. This is by Nankidai, who wrote the actual like game and story, and the art is by Tatsuya Ikegami. This is final volume 5. I've been collecting these all from Yen Press. Or not Yen Press, it looks like it's a Kodansha release. Sorry. Wait, now I'm confused. It's Kodansha Comics, but Yen Press. Okay. I'm gonna go with Yen Press. But this is a you know why? Because that says Kadokawa. I actually cannot read. Goes to show that like when I'm viewing this all through like the camera lens, not like actually in front of me. So this is though the final volume. It adapts what is basically the first like, so this manga adaptation. Now that I've read it in its entirety, can actually talk a little bit more about Your Turn to Die. It adapts the first like whole story arc of 3 that are currently out. So if this had kept going at the pace it was going, it could have had 15 volumes. But this is actually a project that was only going to ever adapt the first chapter of the game. It was never meant to be a full adaptation of the game. It was kind of meant as more promotional piece for it. But unfortunately, the game to this day is not complete. This one guy, Nankidai, who works on it solo, the last update I think was during like 2020 or 2021, and since then there is no update on the final chapter, like chapter 3. They've got like an Attack on Titan naming schema going on, so it's like final chapter 3 part 2 or part 3, and then it's got part 1 and part 2. It's silly, but there is no finale to this game yet. But what this manga does, for what this adaptation does, it deserves a spot on any Your Turn to Die fans' shelf. If comics are like also your thing, it offers kind of a cinematic take on Your Turn to Die that I just really wanted more of when I finished it. It's very good. Here we've got a couple volumes of BL. This is Nagisa Furuya, Only the Stars Know. I may have already hauled this. I just don't remember. I know I posted about it on Instagram. Still haven't read it though. I was gonna save it, I think, for this winter, partially because it looks kind of like a winter read. But I really don't know anything about it aside from the fact that Nagisa Furuya is currently like maybe my favorite BL mangaka. So there's that one. And then my other, another contender for favorite is Kikana, Qualia Under the Snow. So this is a standalone volume from the author of Stranger by the Shore. It's from Kuma. And while it is frustrating that Seven Seas wasn't able to get this so that all the releases match, I love what Kuma does to release books. I think their releases are really high quality. There's this wraparound that kind of goes there. There's silver pages on the inside, and then just really high quality printing. So I couldn't tell you more about it other than the fact that a lot of people have been buying this because it goes in and out of stock like crazy, and it's a new release. So it was very shocking. Like every single time I would go up to like buy it, wasn't in stock. So I finally got my hands on it. Will be reading this break sometime over the winter. A couple volumes here are more of those Webtoon volumes. So these are being released by Ise Press, which is an extension of Yen. This is The Star Seekers Volume 4, and then I've got Volume 5 underneath here. I was reading all of these, so they're basically based off of the stories, the universes of actual like K-pop idol music. So this is Tomorrow by Togethers, The Star Seekers. And I was reading these like regularly as they were coming out, as they were serializing. The whole Webtoon has already been released. These are just physical print versions that are honestly really high quality, and they're really heavy too. Like, oh. And was reading them all for a while, and then, like everything, I just fell off. So I'm going to play a little bit of catch up. Same with here. This is BTS, is Seven Fates Choco. And then I do also have in hyphens the Dark Moon, Blood Altar, or whatever it's called. Those are at my family place because my sister borrows them after I read them. Which, by the way, this has, it would be Kim Seok-jin's character on the front, so it's my favorite cover. And then here is another one. So I've read the first 3 volumes, safe to say, of all of these, and I will go ahead and just continue to pick them up. Not sure what the longevity is of them. I will say Dark Moon is the most enjoyable, which is kind of odd. And then this is the last actual volume of manga I have. This is Suna's Journey, and this is the other Hayao Miyazaki comic that he made. I can't really tell you much about this, other than the fact that it is kind of a classic in the manga sphere. I'm working my way through Nausicaa, actually. I'm almost done with it. I'm so close. And this one was just, you know, it's the next thing to go through. So, lovely hardcover release. It's very rare for manga like this, I feel like, to get hardcover, especially because this is kind of an older release. It's been around for a while. I'll have more to report on it once I've read it. And then now we go into the art book portion. So if you're not into this, I'm sorry. I will keep this very fast, though. I'm going to go through these quickly. This is Studio Ghibli's Complete Works. This is from Kodansha. I received this as a gift way back from my birthday in August. Family member got this for me. So thank you so much to them. And yeah, it's just a collection of the works. Goes through all of them. A little bit of history, explanation, promotional materials, character materials. It's the whole works. So, and it's a small book too. So I think if you kind of are totally new to the world of Studio Ghibli and want to get more familiar with some of the titles, I knew kind of a lot of what's going on in here. But this is a lovely gift book to give to someone. So the fact that my family figured that I would like it is kind of right on page for them. And this was another gift book that I received from family. This is the Hayao Miyazaki Academy Museum art exhibition book, art book thing. This thing is massive, and it is a gorgeous print book. Very sturdy, hard matte cover. I've already bookmarked some pages. In fact, let's take a look at some of these, see what I was looking through. This is a collection, though, of artworks that were featured, I think, in the exhibition for Miyazaki and his works. But there is also explanations of, how they were able to kind of curate all of this art for this book, for this kind of academy tome, so to speak. Looks like I was looking at Laputa, which is unsurprising for me. And it's a really great print quality book. Not sure how much it's going to hold up once the new really big Ghibli collective art book comes out. It's several hundred pages. It'll be out sometime in the beginning of 2025. But this is nice. Again, a lovely gift book. Two more art books that I've got here. I'll just do them side by side. These are Kazuo Oga's artworks. This is volume 1 is older, and then this is volume 2. I believe I picked these both used just from Amazon Japan. But he does a lot of background art for Studio Ghibli works and others. So these art books collect just Kazuo Oga's style. You can see it's very... This is when people think of like classically Ghibli or try to emulate Ghibli backgrounds. This is the guy. This is what you were looking for. So you see a lot of those kind of aesthetic pages. You can find these art books still in print, and they are worth having, especially if you, like kind of just singling out one specific style. I had this spread from Only Yesterday that I was just obsessed with. It's the flower field. And then looks like I had a second page over here. Let's see. Just some ink sketches, it looks like. Or maybe just uncolored sketches. So I just use it as inspiration for my own little painting side projects. One of these days I'd like to do something more with it. But for now, this'll just have to be it. So I've lost many minutes and hope to lose many more hours staring at Kazuo Oga's art. So a must-have if you are a fan of background art in general. Got another book here. This is The Art of Princess Mononoke. You can kind of see a theme going on. I bought this one for myself because I was doing a little bit more side painting stuff, and I wanted to look at the art. I bought this before I think I bought the Kazuo Oga books before this, and then I realized I think I just want to make sure I've got all of, or as much as I can from Mononoke, because I'm so enraptured by the forests in Mononoke. In fact, I'm working currently on a blog project. It'll be really small. Don't expect anything big, but it's a small little blog project where it's about forests and specifically Studio Ghibli. And then I've got another side project after that that's more about cityscape stuff. So I'm not sure when I'm actually going to get around to finishing either of those. I always bite off more than I can chew. But these are lovely. Again, they've been out forever, so many fans already have these. I had the Castle in the Sky one for a while, and I just never got around to getting another one. And this last Ghibli art book was a gift. So this one was from my sister. She got me the Wind Rises art book because I had showed the movie to her, and she loved it so much. And so there's a couple of pages it looks like I've kind of been taking notes on. Oh yeah. I think I can see why past me was interested in marking these. These have been sitting in my, sitting on my shelf, sitting in my hands for several months now. And I'm just now getting around to showing you guys on camera. So it's kind of like a little bit of mental time travel. It is also making me feel guilty of all these projects that I've started and never finished. So what will 2025 bring? The cleanup of 2024. It's always overflow. That's always how it is. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it, So there's always that piece. But lots of details. I must have bookmarked these for one reason or another. This part at the end just moved me to absolute tears. It's an incredible scene. Probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, now that I look back on it, is right there at the very end. So, and then there's a script at the end. And these are great. These are these English releases by Viz. Viz has been doing all of them. They've got The Boy and the Heron coming out very soon in 2025. And the very last art book I have for you is Sailor Moon Cosmos. This is the movie little art book from Japan. So this one was an import as well. And I do want to show you the full cover. So there's that. And then there is also a very vibrant pink underneath. You can kind of see Usagi there. And I finished this movie at the end of summer, the very tail end of summer, and it has stuck with me since. I was just really surprised with how much it did get me. I was expecting it to be more or less like some of the other, I was expecting it to be a lot like a Sailor Moon Eternal, the movies before this, where they were good, but there's no long-lasting impression that they left on me. I would even say like Crystal 1 and 2, which people usually regard as the worst of all of this Sailor Moon remake, I would regard them as like kind of the best. They've been my favorite until Cosmos came around and dethroned all of them. And I'll say this too. Sailor Moon really needed a finale that was of high quality. Like, this whole remake thing has caused so much, I feel like, unnecessary drama and controversy and comparison. And so what it really did need was a finale. By the way, this was incredible, stunning. Oh, I'm in love. Naoki Takeuchi's love for architecture really bleeds through. But and aesthetic. But yeah, when I finished it, I was just like, oh, this was the ending that Sailor Moon needed. It's also true to the original manga, which, that helps too. But the story of Sailor Moon is one that will go on for eternal. There is a reason it has stood the test of time and been kind of a cultural icon for so many years, an inspiration for so many people. And if you have not, or are just, if you think you're not interested in Sailor Moon, check it out again. Whether you do the classic series or the remake or the manga, I think Sailor Moon in any capacity is so lovely. But guys, there we go. These were a lot of the art books and things that I picked up. So I'll just bring some of them back on frame. Please let me know your thoughts on any of the titles or any of the artists involved. There's lots of Ghibli focus here. Did not realize that, especially with some of it being GIFs. And then I've got only a few manga titles. I'm hoping that 2025 will bring more manga specifically as I work my way through the shelves, but we will see. Until then, this is probably my last video of the year, so have a safe holiday season. If you are traveling, be safe on those roads or out in those skies, and stay warm, everyone. Thanks for watching, and till next time.